he or she, it, whatever, Satoshi Nakamoto. And the point of Bitcoin, more than anything, and I kind of touched on this yesterday, well, what we do know is that Satoshi made a statement in the Genesis block that he was kind of basically sick of bankers getting bailed out by the government, right? We don't have sound monetary systems. We usually take the bad end of the stick when people mess up by the government inflating whatever currency it may be in order to kind of patch over its mistakes. So, in that ethos, we kind of really continue to hyper-focus on Bitcoin as being something that, hey, wow, all this other stuff's really exciting and poppy and the price and this and that. There's real change going on here, and it's organic, and it's going to start with the developers first and foremost. And it's going to come from, inside, not from the Lambos, not from all the successive money, but from the heart, and people building stuff where they feel like, hey, I'm building this, it's impactful, I have a global user base, I know I'm helping people in Venezuela save and get out from under Maduro, or I'm helping, people in China that can't have their money flow freely, whatever it may be. And it's very deep, and we're all connected because of it. So the prize money, if we can scroll up, this year it's about 1.25 in Bitcoin, which is a whopping something around about 15K. And this is what these guys are competing for. I want to also take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Bitstop, of course, Bitstop co-founders, and all of the employees of Bitstop that helped put this together. Bread Wallet, which is one of the best Bitcoin wallets out there that's open source. I definitely consider you guys to check it out. It's a great way to store your BTC. You hold your own private keys. You're really experiencing what it is to hold Bitcoin. Okay. And WinCode, which is a great accelerator down here in terms of learning how to code quickly, gets you, on your feet so you can learn and kind of further develop your developer skills. And Advanced Aerospace Components, which is an aerospace company down here in South Florida that is, trying to do the blockchain thing and get involved. And, we really appreciate their sponsorship as well. Other than that, let's get to the presentations. At Bitstop, I want to let you guys know, I've seen a lot of talented people out here. We're one of the few startups in South Florida. We're always looking for good developers. If you want to talk cryptocurrency, if you want to come by the office, talk Lightning networks, open source repos, forks, whatever, we're probably one of the few people down here that you can come and have an awesome conversation with. And we're always hiring, so I definitely always encourage, if you're a talented developer looking to start your cryptocurrency career, to definitely put in an application. Other than that, I want to say thank you again, everybody. The presentations are going to basically be 3 minutes, and they will be judged on creativity, product, and execution. Okay, and with that being said, let me introduce the judges. I'm going to let them actually introduce themselves. It's a bit easier that way. We'll start from left over here with Aaron, who is a co-founder of Bread Wallet.
Thanks, Doug. It's just Bread now. We're like Facebook. We dropped the and now we're Bread. Anyone here use Bread? Raise your hand. Oh boy. Hey guys. Okay, if you're upset with anything, just come. Let me know. So my name's Aaron Lasher. I've been a Bitcoin enthusiast since 2011. I really think that Miami is a great place to start companies in general and tech companies specifically, and even better if they're Bitcoin/blockchain companies. So I really like supporting Doug and Drew and their other co-founder. I guess I don't really know why I'm here. This is my 3rd year judging and I don't code, but I do get yelled at all day by angry customers. And so I think I have a pretty good idea about what people want. And I think that's why they keep inviting me back. Anyway, it's great to see you all. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Enrique Canales. I'm the CTO of Best. It's a pretty new company. We are putting intellectual property rights and royalty payments on the blockchain with our product. And we just started about 6 months ago. We're based in Los Angeles, and I've been good friends with Doug and Dan for a few years, and I've gotten to experience the growth to witness the growth that Bitstop has had over the last few years, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm excited to be a part of this, and thank you guys for putting this together. Thank you.
Hello everybody, Dan, co-founder, CTO of Bitstop. Putting this together now for 4 years, and like Todd said, You guys want to talk crypto or looking for work or want to hack together? Look for me after the event. We can talk.
Hi everybody, I'm Andrew Bernard, co-founder of Bitstop. Doug's my business partner, also the co-organizer of Miami Bitcoin Hackathon. Again, I want to thank all of you for coming out, spending 26 hours hacking, blood, sweat, and tears on these really cool applications and projects. I think that a lot of these things are going to be very meaningful to the future of where this is heading. As the Bitcoin network matures, I'm seeing a lot of these applications starting to mature. So I'm really excited to see where this goes, in the next couple of years. Hopefully we can do this for a very, very long time. So again, I want to thank you guys very much. Again, Bitstop's our company. Our main goal is to build infrastructure and technology to provide as much access as possible for Bitcoin. That's our #1 focus, and that's our lifelong mission. So with that being said, I'm the last judge to introduce myself. Let's kick it off.
Okay, so first team, I think you know who you are because you've probably been sweating it since you're first. If you can start making your way to start setting up and we can get this going. BTC coaster, if you can get on deck, kind of, in the background over here where you can kind of be staging, that way we can flow the presentations. Okay, so I'm going to give it up to Blue Beta now, the Buckeyes.
Woo! How's everyone doing? So we're Blue Beta. We're a local technology consulting firm, actually a couple blocks away here in Wynwood. My name is Isaac Weinbach. I'm a co-founder and product manager. We have Jojo and Brian. They're badass engineers that help build this product. We're going to show you guys hide and feed. Really cool, simple project. So we realize there's an actual problem. First of all, who here owns Bitcoin? Raise your hands. Okay, that's really awesome. Who here owns multiple cryptocurrencies? Okay, so what we realized is that you don't really know the actual value of your cryptocurrencies. There's so many transaction fees along the way, whether you're depositing, withdrawing, or trading. So when you're looking at your portfolio every 5 seconds like I do, and you think you're worth this much, in actuality, you might be worth that much. So we have a solution here. We're going to find the hidden fee in every transaction, whether you're buying or trading cryptocurrencies. So we're going to demo it live, the real deal. Okay, so let's say I want to buy a crypto. I'm going to use US dollars, put in the amount. Let's say, $100, and we're going to buy, let's say, Litecoin, or any of these coins here. So it breaks down the fees for you, tells you, okay, you're going to do it with Coinbase, you need to get BTC. We break down all the fees in American dollars and BTC, so you have visualization in terms of both of those, whether you're a heavy trader or just looking at your currency in American dollars, and we break it down. So if you're going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and you want to move it over to another exchange, we're using Bittrex right now, you're going to be spending 3.96 on that transaction. Now, let's say you want to sell, right? Because I'm looking at my portfolio, I want to know how much I could actually cash out. So I'm going to get a Litecoin, right? That's what I have, or no, we're not doing Doge. Okay, yeah, let's say 100 Litecoin, and we're going to do it for US dollars. So here it just shows an extra step along the way. Basically, we're converting everything to Bitcoin, moving that Bitcoin to Coinbase, a type of exchange where you can now get your US dollars back, and you would be paying $471 in fees for that 100 Litecoin. All right, back to the presentation. Yeah, just to wrap things up, the technology we used was React, Reason, ML, and Express, and our future plans with this is to make this way more customizable, add more integrations to different exchanges, way more coins, more accuracy on the network fees, and this could be integrated with like so many products, like basically to know the exact value of your coins. So we see that there's a huge potential with a product like this. It's pretty simple to use, but behind the scenes there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, this is hide and feed.
Just to give you guys an idea too, I'll be standing kind of near you, and whoever's got the mic, I'll let you guys know when we're down to your last 30 seconds. If you guys want to jump to something or like wrap it up.
Oh, and I love bread too. I have some bread tokens.
Testing. All right, really cool project. I think. Really cool project. I think anything addressing fees, transaction fees for any cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is really cool right now. It's like the hot thing. So kudos to you with respect to that. Who came up with the idea, or what made you come up with the idea?
I mean, basically, like all of us in the office are pretty addicted, and we always talk about this. So we've been like plotting for this hackathon now, and I came up with it basically to know like, if I were to actually take out my money, how much do I really have?
In advance, right?
Yeah.
And would you say that it's more about really knowing the true value of Bitcoin, or just really getting more of like a future approximation of the fees?
Yeah, the second one.
Okay,
Approximation,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's also, you can see this also as a very educational tool because it walks users through the flow of basically like where your money's going. So somebody that's even like not familiar with Bitcoin can see like, okay, like this is the steps that it takes for me to get this. And also, like, we want to add way more steps in here, like I mentioned, so you can now see, like, oh, like, I can see how fast this is going if I want to change the transaction speeds, or I want to move it to a hardware wallet. Well, what is a hardware wallet? Like, we'll teach you all these things along the way.
I really like it, man. Very good job.
Thank you. More questions?
So this is taking into consideration also the fees of the transaction on the chain.
We have not integrated in this MVP version, but we would like to add that in the future.
Overall now, how many exchanges?
Right now, it's just using Coinbase and Bittrex, but that's like part of the future plans. We want to add basically everything we could. Yeah, Brian, you can speak API.
Alright, so 1010. Now, we're using the Bittrex API, the markets API, mainly for getting the current price of the coins and whatnot. That's how we know how much money we're gonna have. Okay. So yeah, like let's say someone's building like a wrapper for like a exchange, so like a desktop application for exchanging. They can go ahead and use our API and figure out, hey, this person's gonna make this transaction. This is gonna be the fees. So they don't have to like do all that math themselves. We already took care of that for them, so it makes it easier for them to integrate that.
Is this working? Okay. Cool. Really neat. So first a comment, I really like when teams have like a little box with a bow at the end where it's like looks done. That's good. So no offense to anyone who's not done. This is
Yeah, it's done, but we wanted a lot more into here. It was just a time constraint, but it works like to the extent that we would like it to. So.
Yeah, it's clearly like a tough challenge to decide how big a bite to pick off, to chew, and I think you pick a good size. So my question to you is, for someone like us in the consumer space, we get a lot of newbies, and this is a big cause of misunderstanding. The second thing that they often misunderstand is fluctuations in market price. So it sounds like you're going down an interesting route where you might have a tool that people could use. In any way that you maybe could enhance the education to encompass other things that commonly confuse newcomers into the industry?
Yeah, so you mentioned that we took a bite of basically the project that we want to build, but we had basically, the process was like multiple steps, and we had little like info bars basically explaining every step of the process. So basically tell them like, oh, like I want to buy Bitcoin, well this is how you do it. Oh, I want to move it to a hardware wallet, well what is a hardware wallet? Oh, there's transaction fees, well how do they work? So like along the way, there's little like info questions that basically you can pop up and see like what's going on along the flow. So it's like ideally it's like a 5-step process. Right now it's 2, even 1.
Nice, break it down, right?
Yeah.
Testing, testing.
If you don't see it, then cut it. Yeah, if they're not doing anything, cut it.
So we are Satoshi Snap, and we were created on block that number. So we're presented here, Miami Bitcoin Hackathon. We're very excited, and we love Bitcoin. Let's get going. So we have Vince here, founder of Freeze Ray Studios. He's making a really cool game, actually. It's called Wordy Gators, coming out soon. Justin, he's cryptocurrency fund manager, but he also knows how to code, so he knows his shit. I'm Claudio. I co-founded iMarket. We deal with IoT solutions to facilitate the adoption. All right, so a problem in the market right now is that Bitcoin is way too speculative. People just think buy low, sell high, when it was really made for more than just that. And that is a problem in itself. Companies need to also have access, so this is for Apple. Companies need to have access to data to know if their marketing strategies are being successful. And that's what so our solution is Satoshi Snap. We verify quality content via proof of work. So what do I mean by this? we are a game that, in which if you laugh, you don't get a Satoshi. Well, you don't get some Satoshi. But if you don't laugh, you do get Satoshi. Right? So we're gonna need some volume here. Press on. You do. I'd rather Vince be the main. So we use facial recognition to see how funny you can go.
Hey, hey, hey! What's up, big gunner? Whoa, what's up? No. Be connect! Be connect!
So, Vince thought that was funny. So he doesn't get Satoshis. Alright, so you can actually withdraw your Satoshis as well, but let's keep going with the presentation notes. So this is the business model that this application would follow, right? So marketers want this data, so they would pay us to put their content on our platform. And the viewers get Satoshis. So we want Bitcoin maximalists to come along. And, well, the arrow showed it up. Thank you guys.
All right, interesting model. Just curious again, what made you want to come up with the idea?
So I was volunteering at something similar like this, and like kids were just goofing off, watching videos of I bet you can't laugh. And I'm like, damn, that'd be really cool with like cryptocurrency because we could tokenize it.
Interesting idea, thanks.
Can you talk a little bit about what the online network services you're using for facial recognition? Some you're also using YouTube's API to pull out these videos.
Yeah.
Or are they just embedded?
So no, we're using YouTube iframe API. Also, Affectiva's SDK, which is able to use facial recognition to see your emotions. So we detect if you smile, we detect if you close your eyes, you try to cheat, and wait, no, I mean like API wise.
Oh, API was,
Node.js and
So the motivation here came from wanting to incentivize people from watching these videos to do, make use of their time. Beyond this, like, what other data do you plan to gather to do you think is valuable for marketers to use a service like this?
I would say the main reason is to basically create a platform where advertisers can host, basically test their advertisements, and get a variable or a set of reactions, kind of give them an idea of whether their content's worth spending more money and putting it out there, on live media or on TV or further on.
It's really cool. I think I know where you're going because for a long time the only way to monetize the internet has been pay-per-click advertising, which is really just a hack for eyeballs. And there's no reason that there can't be other ways to get people to look and pay attention to things. I should probably have a question for you. I guess, do you think you could monetize something like this? Like, do you think people would actually pay for it? I think they would. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. All right, roller coaster, you ready?
okay. So it's on 2018 Miami Bitcoin Hackathon. Before I want to start getting into it,
I want to go into my motivations why I've been here the third time around. And so just, to take a little bit of background, I recall a conversation last night with someone I respect very much, and they hit me with a quote that said, "Speculation literally kills education." And I really had to ponder about that, and as you brought up more and more points, I realized how exact it was. As we see more speculation and more money drive people into the scene, we're literally foregoing education by people who are actually working on substantial technology. And so, since speculation is a little bit ridiculous, I decided to fight fire with fire, and we built an entertainment educational tool that is equally ridiculous. So, with me and my teammate, Alan Cal, this is BTC Coaster, which is a roller coaster of the history of Bitcoin. And yeah, so I was actually going to put this in VR, and then I kind of realized, well, Bitcoin's been sort of mooning, so kind of doesn't make sense for someone to go in a roller coaster continuously upwards, and then two, I didn't want to give anyone sick this notion. That would have been a very intense ride. And for some reason, I think it's due to the scale, I had the price and the date changing dynamically right above the track. Yes, it's not there for now. We see the Bcash 4, our friend Roger Ver. And so, again, basically the motivation behind this is, as kids are growing up now with the VR gear headset and the Oculus headset, why not throw this up just on a web platform, simple website, learn BTC by riding this educational roller coaster. And so, as we go forward, the tracks that are red is actually the months that we had a bull market. That we had a bear market. Tracks that are green, obviously bull. As you can see, we are slowly but surely inching closer to the moon. I'll actually put it there. Yeah, let's go straight to questions.
Okay, cool. Just cool idea. Yeah, I would use it. I could just imagine myself in my living room, just you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a trip on the BTC roller coaster tonight.
Right, and as me knowledge as funny as this was, if this had a clickable PDF of the Satoshi white paper at the beginning, if this had news articles put out by big influencers, and you just click directly to them, that's what I was trying to build, and that's where I'd like to take this. Before I start turning it off, this to me was something that I built with not a business model in mind. It was the first product that I'm happy to say that I built here with nothing but the Bitcoin community in mind.
Nice. I also, I just, overall think it's fun. You should make a text update for when there's a lot of volatility. That way we get a great roller coaster ride. So, test.
Hello. We're talking about how you took this data and then plotted and then render the track depending on the dips and the highs.
So that was fairly challenging, especially because I hadn't written C# before. So I'm actually now using an API. I just scraped it all once and then looping through a list that has both the dates and the price, and they were both tagged to the track property. And so I had tracks that obey the laws of physics, and just plotted those to those and scaled it correctly.
Cool. Yeah. So obviously no business model in mind. You said that. So this isn't something you plan to monetize in any way. But what do you think would be the first releasable product of the tool? What do you think that would look like?
Right. So I would say I'm not trying to monetize it, but don't take that to mean I'm not interested in building this out. If I were to launch this, I think making the links and guides clickable from users with either the Oculus controller or whatever input it is they have, and it allows them to take them into different assets and learning resources. That's where I'd like to see the first version of this go.
This reminds me of something someone made with a similar kind of feeling about speculation. Maybe someone here has seen it online. There's this tool where you can, it'll pick a random like 10-year period of the US stock market, but you won't know what it is. And then you have $10,000 and you get two choices, when to invest and when to sell. And it's really quite educational, right? And when I was watching this, I was like, oh, it's the same kind of thing. It goes up and down, and like, if there was some kind of interaction as well where people got to make choices, just to see how risky it is to like YOLO on a roller coaster. I don't really have a question. That was just really fun and entertaining, so it was good to see your face again. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks, Aaron. No more questions? Thank you guys.
Gold, and here we go. So the problem we want to assess is that it's kind of hard for newcomers to come into the space due to the volatility. You need to do a lot of research. You need to be able to discern what is real, what's a legitimate project, and what's not. Reddit is full of shillers, and Twitter is full of trollers. So that's a high barrier of entry that we want to dismiss. We want to introduce maybe, possibly, the best thing since sliced bread. And not only did we take that bread, we put that bread on top of fire, okay? You're with me so far. We take bread, you put it on top of fire, you get toast. So, take it in, take that in. Thanks, all right. And it's great that the CMO of Bread is here. This is awesome. So, what is Toast? Toast is a social fund platform, and it's a smart hedge fund for the people, by the people. We built it using Solidity, and it's powered by Rootstock, RSK, and it's built on the Bitcoin blockchain. This is similar to the DAO, but it's DAO 2.0. Anyone can create their own DAO, that's decentralized application organization, autonomous organization, I'm sorry, for crypto trading. Prospective members can ask to join a DAO, and the current members of that DAO can vote them in. And those members can not only vote new members, but they can also vote on the crypto assets, what they're investing on, and the percent distribution. Voting power is proportional to one stake. We had 26 hours, so we have a future log. We want to be able to have automatic rebalancing, so if one of our assets goes to the moon, we want to be able to balance it back to the strategy that we originally had. There can be messaging, so the people in the DAO can talk about what's the next move, and some cross-chain operability / atomic swaps. Here's some screenshots of what we built. So here we have a empty first user comes in and makes an account. There's nothing on here. Next, they create their own social fund. They put a name, what they're going to put in here, and it shows up on one of the social funds. You can add this to your social fund, and it's here. We have the front end done, the back end done, the smart contracts done, but because we're limited on time, they don't communicate fully with each other yet. So that's the come. So with that, we want to do a toast to the future of crypto. Thank you.
Okay. That was hilarious. Thanks for the homage. You know, you're kind of freaking me out because we had bread. By the way, I don't mean to take any more time, but just so people who don't know, we're one of the largest cryptocurrency wallets, and we're expanding into more than just Bitcoin. We have over 1 million customers in 140 countries and protect billions of dollars. So we also have some really like big Hail Mary ideas, and you know one of them is very similar to what you just presented. So I'm just wondering, like, are you on our Slack channel? Did you hack us or anything? You know, I would love to actually see something like this working. because we see Bread as a portfolio management tool, right? Having your money in your pocket. And something like this could like legitimately be a company that you would buy. So if you, I don't want to inform anyone else's like votes, but if you can like talk to me later, I'd be interested in maybe seeing what you guys have built and what you've got.
For sure. And just a quick history how we got here. We had an idea that involved using a Bitcoin wallet, and actually Bread was one of the ones that we got up and running first. And about 4 hours into the hackathon, we learned that our idea had been pitched 2 years ago, so we had to pivot. Thanks so much. It's Zeus back there, yeah. So with Setcoins, but we had to pivot. We had a few hours of brainstorming, and this was a really solid idea we all voted on. And that's what the people on this DAO would be voting, you know, what's their next strategy. So it was kind of really great. We want to keep the toast idea. I think it was great.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so I'm going to pass off the mic, but yeah, if you're interested in, so we've done a lot of thinking on this topic, and we have, I think, plenty of things to talk about, so please do connect with me. We'll do.
Great presentation. I guess I'm curious about what kind of bottlenecks you guys foresee for this kind of platform. You know, beyond just managing as a fund, what kind of like engineering bottlenecks, just running a business like this, do you foresee using smart contracts and transacting on the Ethereum blockchain? What does that look like?
All right, so I have two answers to that. First one is going to be short. It is the educational answer. I think that it's inherent that the education gained by the LPs and / investors of each fund is gained from other members as well as other outside sources. So if we could further facilitate the practice of accurate information, that would help the business. Two, the way that Solidity is currently set up, there are security vulnerabilities if you have contracts that are pushing out updates based on time. Actually, it's currently not so reported, so you have to essentially make contracts open after a certain amount of time, and those contracts can only be activated or called by the user. So rather than having a complete seamless process where the discussion phase, the voting phase, the proposal phase, and then trade execution phase can happen seamlessly, you have to have any user go into the system to actually activate certain smart contracts. And that's just that. We hope to see the Ethereum Foundation work on ironing out that flaw.
Any plans of doing the ICO pitch for us today?
Excuse me.
I see the value in something like this, especially being one of the trolls in the pump and dump chats. This would actually weave out a lot of the people who are just there to push the pumps.
Right?
Yeah. We would love to see a demo, at least of your contract or some of your backend code.
Sure, after this.
But just that.
Thank you.
Very good stuff, guys. I have nothing else to add, but I think it's a cool product, and I like how you incorporated Toast into your application.
Thank you. Thank you.
What move? All right, no, my name is Nelson, and this is the team. Carlos, Hanan, Liam, and Willie. And together we made Pump and Dump.
Pump it!
You can't dump it if you don't
So,
pump it.
the cryptocurrency market right now is facing a little bit of a problem. Buying and selling altcoins is a huge hassle. So, managing each trade for each altcoin on each exchange takes a lot of energy and time. And in the cryptocurrency market, time is money. So what if I were to tell you that there's an app on the market that helps you manage your coin portfolio so that you can invest in and cash out of a lot of altcoins at the same time with one click of a button. So this would also be extremely beginner friendly because it would allow beginners that are only invested in Bitcoin to diversify their portfolio, which is a common strategy for mutual funds and professional investors, and it would help them like be one of the big dogs in investing. So if you visit our website here, dump.it, you can access the download link to which goes to our GitHub repository, so you can download this. It's open source right now. And you just need to put in your API key for Binance, and you're good. So we used the Binance API and Node.js for the back end and Electron for the front end and for the setup of the back end. Right. So it's time for our demo time.
Hey guys, so I'm one of the engineers that worked on Pump and Dump, and we made sure to make it as professional as we can and as flawless working as possible. As you see here, you have your secret key and your public key. You log in easy, very user-friendly. Log in.
Don't store any information on your computer.
We don't store any information, very secure, open source, check the code. And as you see here, we have our Binance portfolio. As you see here, I have the Binance app. I'm going to buy a coin right now. Let's see if it works. All right. Oh. Hey. Yeah, right? Total must be 200. Yeah. Okay, so I just bought it. So as you see here, it pulls the graph of the last 7 days of the coin and how it went. And then you see our coin was just reloaded into our portfolio, and we have a graph of Bitcoin right there. And as you see, the green light would take a percentage of your Bitcoin and disperse it in the requested portfolio. So right now we're going to put, requested how much percentage we want in each coin. 40 in tricks and 60 in fun. So I want to sell 0.06 of my Bitcoin. Carlos, I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I don't know. That was funny. 0.05. So now we're going to pump it up. All right. So it sends a API request to the Binance, to the requested coins. Oh, and it just sold. Yeah. Under these numbers, just bought, and yeah. Oh, we also have a website that we worked on, and a big key point of our software is open source. That's a very important thing that we all believe in, is freedom to the people, freedom to be able to develop software, and yeah, that's it.
Love it, love it, love it. Oh, sorry, too loud. Love the idea. Anything that allows me to sell as many of my alts at the same time as possible for Bitcoin is a good application for me. I love that it's open source. Granted, no one's checked it yet, but I like that you guys are open sourcing it. And I also love your mantra of not holding anybody's funds. So kudos to you guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Any plans or technical reasons why you just went with Binance?
Binance has one of the most open and least intrusive API and account creation that you need. So, Coinbase needs your ID, your proof of citizenship. Binance, Social Security. Binance, you log in and then exchange. Put Bitcoin in, it's free. Yeah.
So you'll have it there.
Yeah.
Very interesting idea. Good execution. This is all need some kind of it looks like it could be some kind of like auto trading software, so you could build something on top of that.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty cool.
So I'm glad that you guys are able to do this. I guess I'd like to chat more about like the technical implementation, like how you guys build this out. Really more understand.
We're doing a lot of set timeout. Starting to work.
So, do you think that maybe this could be a freemium model and then additional services which would enlist Twitter bot Army and Begin Telegram FUD, just so you can get a boost on your pumping and dumping.
One thing we were thinking about was you could have like a timer for when you can pump and when you need to dump. So
Right.
you do it all at the same time.
I also have a little opinion on this. I'm very for community and for open source. So personally, I would never put a freemium model on it. I would like to leave it open source because there's so many software that has been open source that's helped me throughout the years. And because they stayed free, I was able to pursue what I love, my programming and performing hackathons, and then with my friends, doing kind of well.
All right, you win. Thanks, guys.
One last thing before we go is we are actually in the education space, and Hanan and Liam were actually our first students when they were 13. And so we brought them here so they can hack with us, because we believe that education is important for moving crypto forward. So thank you very much.
At the bar, guy next to me pulls up his Coinbase account. I'm like, oh cool, let me talk to him, fellow crypto enthusiast. I talk to him, he starts preaching to me how amazing and awesome Ripple and Tron are, and it keeps going on. I'm like, okay. I ask him a little bit, and I notice he knows nothing about the fundamentals. That's what inspired this project. CryptoQuest is an educational and fun, immersive AR game that allows players of any level of crypto experience to learn more about different cryptocurrencies and tokens while bringing merchants foot traffic to their locations. Let's show you a demo. Alrighty, on the little map, you will see different crypto monsters pop up. Each of them represents a different token. Now let's check in our crypto decks if we're missing any of them. And it looks like we're missing a VEST token. So let's see if there's any on the map. Now, right now there's not, but there's a merchant right here at the lab that's setting up a faucet as we speak for VEST token, where you can select the token and set how much budget he wants to invest in bringing foot traffic to a store every day. The app and the backend are connected via WebSockets to update it in real time, so as he connects it, the little token pops up. Let's start the game experience. Now, as he joins, again, via sockets, you see him appear. The game is, he has to hit this 3 times. It's an AR game, so he can move around to determine where those little balls float. Now he collected his VEST token. As he collects that VEST token, the first time around, he sees a little educational, informational post about, hey, what's the current price? But more importantly, not everybody's going to read the white paper, but let's teach some key factors, key features about this token. In addition to that, as soon as Spread Wallet releases, as soon as you guys release your wallet out of the ERC20 compatible wallet out of beta, we want to link to tutorials on showing people how to set up their own wallet so that they own their coins because they have control over their private key. Right now, it's a managed wallet, where let's go to the buy more. Now, we have a managed wallet. It looks like there's an ATM located right there. Now that we know more about crypto, let's buy some. It will deposit the crypto in the wallet that's integrated into the app. There we go, finished. Important step. Now, with catching some crypto monsters and purchasing some more crypto, let's do something with it and purchase ourselves a little coffee. Been a long day. There we go. Thanks, guys. That will really help. Oh no, shitcoin attack! Manny, get them fast, get them quick. So as you move the phone, you can aim the balls differently. Alright, that's it, guys. Thanks.
Okay, very cool. Here's my question. Every year, there is some different take on this, like real-time find either Bitcoins or monsters or whatever. This is really unique, so I'm not criticizing you. But I'm wondering, why do you think nothing like this has actually been commercialized? Like there have been a couple companies like Takara where it's just simply drop off some of the Bitcoin and wait for someone to pick it up. But like considering this is like that was really cool. Why aren't we seeing stuff like this out in the wild? What do you think are the challenges having gone through the process of making it?
So one key difference I think that this app has is, I mean, we took a slight obvious inspiration by Pokemon Go, as well as CryptoKitties, by combining cuteness and collectibles and bringing that in. Because yes, I mean, we've seen before that there is other attempts to make something that's really easy to use, but we want to keep attempting to solve that issue because still, like, over the last year, like, as I said, like, I've met now more and more people that really talk crypto all the time. It's increased tremendously. I mean, we were both at the conference this week where it's exploded the space. The space has exploded. But I still think there's a good number of people, and that's why we are attacking that educational aspect. That it's not just, yeah, collect something. It's not so much anymore about the geocaching, that yes, you find some crypto here and there. That's how we want to get, like, have a business model behind it or a finance model that we can get some money from merchants. Here, our goal was more about education as well as the fun that hopefully could bring some more, even more variety, making it viral.
Very cool. And last question. Yes. How would you deal with the problem of on-chain transaction fees for
Yes. So there, we talked to a couple of the mentors, and we wanted to, we dealt with it by batching it up because yes, we don't want to do on-chain transactions for tiny, like, I don't know, cents or $1, $2, $5 transactions. So batching them up and doing them only virtually in the application, and then at certain times actually write them to the blockchains.
Great presentation, guys. Good execution, nice interface, and good shout out for Best. Thank you. So I'm curious, who do you think is the ideal customer for you guys? Like, who's using this platform? Like, are companies promoting their tokens, via this platform to, kind of take advantage of the viral aspect of how these, coins trade, and who is, reaching out to you guys saying, we want to be listed on, CryptoQuest?
So ideal customers, I mean, we won the customer base of the merchants that are placing the faucets in their locations to attract people to come to their store to then, buy coffee or something while they're there anyway. The other customer base is our, yes, as you mentioned, tokens that just came out and that want to take advantage of the viral, making a viral. Where, yes, there we see either tokens, you do see a lot of tokens that run tons of ads. So some money they can spend on, hey, being in this app, if we even charge them for it. Part of what we wanted to aim for too is just the cuteness factor of making it sort of very adorable and, to just the fun factor of it.
Yeah, we were touched on the transaction fee numbers. I was very interested in how you guys plan on handling that. That's kind of a key problem.
Yes, of course.
Those fees are really high. It's needed to your business.
Yes, that's why the managed internal wallets until someone, and setting certain thresholds, like no, you can't withdraw $1 worth of Bitcoin because, well, no, that's going to be inefficient. The different points, as we allow withdrawing them into a wallet, into another wallet that's not managed by us, we would set for the different points, different minimums of, hey, this is how much you need to hold at least in order to withdraw it.
How do you see handling a situation where, for example, the instant deposit from the machine, how about if the machine stopped doing instant transactions, or transactions over Lightning Network or batch transactions? So as the player, they will have to just wait for that transaction to be confirmed, or can they still use their tokens as unconfirmed inputs in your wallet?
So because the game functions completely without having that additional deposit, right? The game functions by the money, the faucets that drip out the cryptos at the different locations at random intervals, the ones that the merchants place. So they can play the game just with that portion. The deposit is the additional piece that, hey, while you already have a multi-currency wallet, we also allow you to make deposits from an ATM or from something else to increase your balance so that you can possibly, for example, add $20 so you can buy a coffee or buy a lunch or something with it.
So it wouldn't just basically be Bitcoin. I can go and find a machine that sells gas tokens, deposit them as well.
Yes, yes. I mean, since this ATM was conveniently located here, we're like, hey, we can prove the concept with this.
Great product, guys. Great execution. Thanks a lot.
Give me a second. So pretty much my company, or my project that I was working on is Bounty XCP. So I'm sure all of you guys, or most of you guys went to the conference and the hackathon and are just completely drained out. And yeah, I'm extremely tired right now. So I ended up not finishing the project, but this is more of like a proof of concept for if anybody wants to help out and work with me to get this project out after this. So pretty much what it allows you to do is you can place a bounty for a location update. So if you want to know what's going on at your favorite coffee bar downtown Miami, you can place a bounty for someone to go out there in the real world and take a video, picture, or review. So what we did for this is I had a smart contract. Well, I didn't get to finish it, but I'm using a smart contract on the EVM and publishing the compiled hash onto the Bitcoin network using the XCP tokens. And pretty much how the reviews and the videos are going to be hosted are on Instagram through their API. And it's going to allow you to get even more in-depth kind of analysis about a scene or a location. So downtown Miami would be a scene, and your favorite coffee bar would be a location in that scene. So the review system, we have three dynamics to it: the energy, the density, and the ambient. So we want to try to graph out the data that we get through this and see how the energy, density, and ambient change over time about a location. So yeah, we had a demo, but I had one of my friends who was working with me on it, and he had to leave this morning. And then there was two devs who do UI across the desk from me, and they abandoned their project halfway and decided to join my team. But I went out for a quick break and came back, and they weren't here. So yeah. So yeah, the scope of this project was really big. So I just wanted to present it out here to see if anybody else wanted to collaborate and probably work with me on something like this. Yeah, that's basically.
Interesting. If anybody uses earn.com, I feel like this is almost like that, but for anything, you know? So it's a unique concept, bounty for a bunch of different things besides just sending an email. You can do that all day.
Yeah, man, I have so many questions.
Go for it.
I can only see that this is just like an idea so far. But you'll be kind of seeing more of a Yelp style for location, like Google Places, where you can put bounties for people to actually go and check it out. Maybe actually incentivize them to have a review of the place, take pictures, take videos.
So they would get incentivized. You would send a token to the smart contract address with a location that you want the smart contract to be in. So the bounty hunter would essentially have to be within the location to be able to update the Instagram page about that location. And then once the Instagram page is updated, then the Oracle will push it to the smart contract and then release the tokens to the person who updated it. And we wanted to get like deeper in with the location part of it, because people could easily spoof their location and grab all these tokens. So we're working on something called two-factor location authentication, to where there's something in that location that can prove that you're actually there, like an NFC beacon or maybe a QR code that someone plays.
It's a very interesting idea. What was the main motivation behind it?
I just wanted to wait because, I mean, I always want to know what's going on. Like, I hate waiting in Chipotle lines, for example. If I could, pay $1 to find out if there was a long line at Chipotle, that might save me a lot of time,
What would you say is the main benefit of having this kind of app? Having an app like this in a decentralized. What makes it?
So we wanted to do like a fair distribution method as well, and pretty much we have a smart contract that would place bounties all over just randomly. People could like go into it. I think this is cool for decentralization because you can pretty much get paid to do nothing. You know, the smart contract asks about it. You know, like you could be here right now, there could be a bounty. You know, or even in future purposes, you know, marketers or something could market their event by placing a bunch of bounties in a spot.
On the topic of unintended consequences, do you think one of your target customers could be the paparazzi?
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, that pretty much kills their business, I guess, in a way, right?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I could see this even getting malicious. Like, I forgot the movie name, but there's this movie where people can put bids on actions for people to do and record themselves, you know? So like, one of the ones was like, I'll pay you $100 if you climb the Empire State Building or something, you know? Yeah. So like, this could turn into something crazy.
Sundays just got much more entertaining.
Yeah, so if anybody's out there who wants to collaborate and work with me, I'll be around after. Give me a holler.
Thank you very much.
Finding information about your Bitcoins, pricing, how much does it take to transact a coin, how much do I need to pay for fees for that? And we use a personal assistant, in this case, Alexa. So one of the main things that we wanted to find out was, okay, how can we get immediate information to the user using their voice? So basically, like the standard SSML protocol is basically where you represent the voice to listen and at the same time to recognize it. So Alexa permits us to do both things, and then we can basically do request information for transaction. We can also do schedule reminders. We can listen to some news, as we will see in the demo. Next. So we use as APIs Python. We use Bitcoin. Use 2 Bitcoin nodes, so obtain the whole Coinbase. I mean the whole Bitcoin base, and we will be able to explore through the APIs provided by Python the entire database, all the blocks, right? All the blockchain. So what we have is different API, different servers that provide us information. We have information for all the prices. We have information for the statistical data. And then we combine all that information in a very simple utterances or words that the Alexa will tell us. And then the first thing that we have to do is, Alexa, load Bitcoin Caster.
Welcome to Bitcoin Caster. We will help you save money in transaction fees and forecast your best transaction. Are you ready?
Yes.
You can request for pricing of Bitcoin, transactions, and schedule the transaction limit. What do you want?
What's the price of Bitcoin in dollars?
The last price is $11,360.41.
What's the commissions in Satoshis?
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Well, load Alexa, load Bitcoin Caster.
Welcome to Bitcoin Caster. We will help you save money in transaction fees and forecast your best transaction. Are you ready?
Yes.
You can request for pricing of Bitcoin, transactions, and schedule a transaction limit. What do you want?
Tell me the news.
This is the Bitcoin Caster report. Today is January 27, 2017. Bitcoin is $12,019 and virtual at 360, 320, and 280 Satoshi per byte.
Alexa, stop. So basically, Alexa enables us to connect to Bitcoin, to all the network, and be able to basically obtain information with the different questions that you program. So we use all this API to the news, for example, we're obtained from a website, from Bitcoin News, basically. We retrieve the feed, we convert it into voice, and we play it here. In addition to that, we added statistical information, for example, how many Satoshis are costing us right now at that precise moment to make a transaction, to take 20 minutes, to take half an hour, to take 1 hour or more. And then you can basically plan your day. Then you know the price, and then you can actually obtain more information from Alexa. And this is basically like, and then we connected as well the historical data for the different prices to predict the future prices on the Bitcoin, to basically do all the way around. Alexa alert us instead of only querying Alexa. And that's the product.
Great presentation, and I know that fees are on everyone's mind. What kinds of transactions can you foresee wanting to use this service for?
Well, right now the transactions requires an interface that is audible interface. So we were looking at tools like Ripple, like Chirp, and other apps that basically convert text into voice. And then Alexa is capable of retrieving that voice and convert that into the transaction. So obviously you can read the QR code, convert that into voice, send it to Alexa, and Alexa query and tell us your transaction is in the queue and it will take another 3 minutes to complete or something.
Okay, cool. I have more questions, but I think in the interest of time, I'll move on. Thank you.
So currently, what data sources are you pulling from for gathering transaction times, estimating that?
Yeah, we use Bitmain. We use another one that has the blockchain, and then we have 2 nodes as well in our network with all the blockchain. So we just connect to the RPC channel, and we obtain estimated fees and the opcodes to obtain the values of whatever we need from the blockchain itself.
Pretty good presentation. That will totally change my morning routine. So checking my phone and just asking Alexa. It would be great to see more of alternative currencies, not just Bitcoin. Maybe we can see all the Bitcoin forks, see the total sum of Bitcoin across all the forks. That would be very valuable information. Right, thank you. That was great.
Great product, well executed, and aside from, if you're too paranoid from having an Alexa, in your house, being a Bitcoiner, I think it would be a really good project. I just wouldn't have an Alexa, that's all.
No, you can connect it to Siri. It's the same API. Basically.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And then, with regards to the Litecoins and the other coins, we only focus on Bitcoin. And
I guess it is all recording you anyways, so.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Thank you.
But this meme holds a special place on my heart. This came out in 2014 and caused quite a ruckus. The Western Union actually almost tried to sue Facebook and take it down. What does that tell you? They were worried at one point. They were like, wow, this is right. Sadly, we can't say the same thing today. I wish we could, and I want to change that. I want to be able to make payments with my peers, with my family, with almost no transaction fees and a very fast pace. Obviously, there's some things you're willing to give up if you're willing to have something like this. This is why I want to implement the Lightning Network on my own wallets to start one of the first hubs of sending transactions peer-to-peer. So yesterday I spent a lot of time researching the Lightning Network, researching the pros and the cons, what can work, what can't work. Sadly, I spent too much time trying to just install it. Go obviously doesn't like me or my Mac, regardless. This is what it would look like. I try to focus as much on making the payment to friends or peers as easy as possible. Just a simple dial, which is scan the QR code or the address, the transactions, and this screen right here, which more details about it. I try to salvage some of it and make a simple React front end. Honestly, it looks hideous, but just to prove I did something. Can you go to the front end on the website, please? This is what it would look like on an iPhone. So hit the middle wallet. Some sweet animations. So, why initially this won't work? This won't work initially because for Lightning Network to work and hubs to be the central of peer-to-peer communication, Lightning Network, the hub would need a lot of liquidity. For you to open a channel with someone, that person, the channel, both ends would need to have some amount of Bitcoin staked. This doesn't really scale for now. I want to be able to create, at least for an MVP, something where I can have between my 5 peers and my family send amount of money. Hubs would work if it's small amounts. That's kind of what I'm going for. I want to be able to introduce Lightning Network and start one of the first hubs to actually help people send money around the world very cheap and fast.
Cool. What do you think are the main technical barriers to a user-friendly Lightning Network wallet?
The user should not have to know their own Lightning Network. I personally believe so. They should just know that they have a channel, and these transactions are made off-chain. And once they agree this is what they want to sell at, they go back to the main chain. I don't think it's personally necessary for any user to know about Lightning Network, to have to interact with it, or like have to go through the process of making a channel themselves.
So it would like automatically stake their coin for them,
They'd have
close
to,
channels if it needs to.
They would say, I'm willing to put in this much. And then it gets them with a preferred hub, which has a limit. There's all the creativity for that.
Cool. Well, I also hope for a day with no fees, so thank you.
Yeah, it seems like a serious problem one that is needing resolution. So, yeah, how do you plan on, I guess, how do you plan on handling these, the transaction fees, keeping them, within like reasonable amount for you as a business?
Personally, I wouldn't really want to make this as a business, because one of the downsides of Lightning Network and creating these hubs, there's no real incentive for the hub at the current moment. There's no, for you, you don't really make that much money opening channels and closing channels and managing channels. I just would like a way for people to communicate. People send transactions with close parties very easily.
So just to touch on that, there's many incentives to join a Lightning Network. Not just aside from the small transaction fee you make, but also from the value of having a full nodes being running, just so you don't run your Lightning Network, having multiple decentralized hubs so everybody can have their routes, or at least multiple options of routes for the transactions. So incentive, sensation overall, there's a lot to be able to run Lightning Networks. I believe what you have here going on is a great idea to a great product. Everyone in the space is solidly trying to either make it, and some will make it, but definitely be in the market. It's simplicity and the easier use of Lightning Networks, like you said, without ever even knowing that they're using this technology. They're just seeing that the donation, how much they have, how much they can spend.
As simple as possible.
As simple as possible. Really good idea.
The $0 remittance is the ultimate goal for everybody, probably, or most of the Bitcoin companies that are, building out infrastructure. So I think this is a, great idea. I can't wait to see more things with Lightning Network. I hope that, especially, seeing you trying to build something with Lightning Networks is a great effort. I hope to see a lot of that next year, especially. So kudos. Well done.
So, I think the problem when talking about Bitcoin with friends or reading tons and tons of articles about Bitcoin is that no matter how much you talk about it, there's still this kind of layer of magic under which Bitcoin really exists. You can talk about using APIs and all that, but really the stuff that's going on under the hood, a lot of us don't ever really get a chance to touch. So what I wanted to do, my solution to this was the Bitcoin Institute of Technology, BIT, and the idea is to provide guided, hands-on training in the world of Bitcoin. So, let's jump right in. So, what we got here is 3 different course paths for 3 target demographics. I'll start here with finance. The idea is somebody who's interested in learning how Bitcoin can be used to invest in things. You can go in there and see the kinds of courses that they might be interested in. They might be interested in learning, for instance, how to explore investment opportunities with Bitcoin,
Or we might look into the situation of somebody who wants to look into Bitcoin for their daily life. We break down the lesson of how to buy their first Bitcoin into nice little discrete chunks. You can log on, do a couple steps, really make it interactive. But the one that I really want to jump into, if I don't break my website, there we go, is the coding section. This one resonates with me because I spent the last day and a half coding. The idea behind this track is to learn how Bitcoin technology and the ecosystem works by coding it little bits at a time. And so here we've got a couple of sample courses. So for instance, under the hood, part of it involves generating a private key, formatting it, generating public keys from your private key. All this stuff might not make sense. You might have a certain amount of familiarity with it, but there's just so much that's going on there. Like, I still don't understand entirely what a nonce does. Though I use Bitcoin, I buy it, I don't really know how it works. So this is even helpful for people like me. This is my third hackathon. I'm still learning this stuff. So let's jump into something like, I want to learn more about private keys. This is a lesson that I've already started. So the idea here is, you'll notice it's similar to kind of like to Codecademy. And in this step, the step that we're working on right now is we've got a private key, a random number, and we've got to turn it into the wallet input format, the WIF. And so this code window is provided with a variable called private key. And so I need to follow the steps here. I'm just going to put my mic down real quick. So what I need to do is I've got access to this. Okay, well, if I can type. There we go. All right, so I've got access to this private key, and I can start by following the steps. So the first thing I need to do is I need to prefix it with an OX80, and here I have access to ES6. Thanks. Here I have access to ES6, and another thing that I have to do is I've got to hash it once. I've got to hash it actually a couple times, and so I have access to an internal library called crypto, provided in this case. Oh, sorry, yeah. That doesn't break it too much. Anyway, so I have access to a library called crypto, provided straight to the IDE, so that I can actually start to play around with these crypto functions. And then I've got the instructions instruct me. It might be a little bit cut off right here, but I've actually got to do that twice. And I just got to return them. And that's all I have to do for this part of the module. Thank you. That's all I have to do for this part of the module. And I can check my work. It's going to go ahead and run some tests against those keys. And those are real tests, running actual real random inputs in it, and then bam. That's one small little part of the ecosystem that I now have more of a grasp on. Okay, so just want to talk about the future of this. This is something I'm really excited about, because I feel like, you know, all these things that we're talking about are really neat, but they're not going to get somebody like my mom into these things, or they're not going to get even me into more of the like financial aspects of things. I need to learn these things by grappling with them. And I know a lot of you guys have been programming this whole time, so I feel like getting your hands dirty and actually playing with these things is a way that we can lower these barriers. We can get rid of that magic, make it less muggles and wizards, get us all together. And that's BIT.
I love this concept. I think it's really, really cool. Education is so important in Bitcoin. It's a massive, steep learning curve. We need a lot more things to educate, whether it be developers, whether it be, you know, my mom, my dad. You know, it really needs to come first, especially now. So there's a lot of new people coming into Bitcoin, into crypto, period. There's a lot of new attack surfaces. There's a lot of sophisticated attacks that we have yet to see. So this is going to be very, very, very good. I really like what you're doing with this. Well done.
Thanks.
Totally a tool to be accessible to everybody online. It's growing online. This is something that should already be online. Multiple people trying to teach people. This is the same concept like this.
Yeah, it's not out there. I searched for
That's great. I mean,
just want it.
Right? This should be something you should integrate into your wallet.
Yeah, this is definitely something that is lacking in the community. So, you know, kudos to you for building this, and I would really love to see something like this made public. So, you know, consider open sourcing this, you know, putting it out there for other people to use, for developers to start, you know, honing their skills and learning. transact on it. It's not just for the developer, but also for the layperson who can, really benefit from understanding the underlying concepts of, what encryption is, how to, protect their private keys. And I think education around protection and security is huge because a lot of people get hacked. We all know, transacting with crypto can be confusing sometimes. So people make silly mistakes like taking their private key somewhere. Having an education platform like this for something like that would be pretty awesome. So thanks.
Super cool. Yeah, the topic is so complex. People who know how to explain things don't understand Bitcoin, and people who understand Bitcoin don't know how to explain things. Who knows that? So we definitely need repositories of technical and financial information, and I think this is great. If you want to help us at Bread, please feel free. We're actually doing something similar with a bunch of videos, but I like the interactive component that you have here. And you just gave me a bunch of cool ideas, so thanks for that.
Yeah, so just to speak on that, that was something, so you guys are making videos, I feel like that is, it's all videos and text articles, which is what really prompted this whole thing, because I can only watch a video for so long, or I don't have my headphones on me all the time, I can always watch a video,
Totally agree.
So, yeah, thanks.
Hi, I'm Anthony, and I'm very excited to present to everyone here Hot Mesh. It is an easy-to-use app that allows anyone to buy and sell time online using Bitcoin and hotspots. Now, why would anybody want to use Hot Mesh? There are two reasons. The first one is you're out and about and you don't have cellular data. You want to log on to a Wi-Fi. Well, public Wi-Fi's can be insecure, unreliable, and if you're at the airport and you want to buy for a private hotspot, it's going to be really expensive. Now, where would you want to use Hot Mesh? Anybody here, next slide. Anybody here take Megabus before? Anybody here successfully connect to the Wi-Fi on Megabus? It is a hot mess. So instead, you can use Hot Mesh to buy time online from the person sitting next to you using their mobile hotspot. And to show how this works, I'd like to hand it over to Philip.
Thanks. I'm Phil, and I want to show you more of the technical layer of how this works. The back end is written in C++, and it's essentially a wallet that is stored on your phone. And there's a React front end for the person who is connecting to Wi-Fi he uses. So when somebody connects to a Wi-Fi nearby, they're prompted with a captive screen. And it allows the person to go ahead and take a copy of the address and send money there. I already did this, so it's going to allow me to connect already. But the way it works is that each address is unique. So there's a new unique address that's being prompted each time for the seller to advertise their Wi-Fi hotspot. The wallet itself, it's BIP compliant, so it has 12 mnemonic code phrases that allow them to transfer money elsewhere. And I'm going to pass it over to Joseph, and he's going to explain more about the iPhone side and the Android side and how this works on the web server.
Yeah, so if you wonder what this is actually an Android phone, and we just started like a basic web server, on this, and I'll set up the hotspot on the device and did some basic routing. So you can pretty much do that with like any device. You can even kind of play with the mesh network and like set up multiple devices that are interconnected and are serving this like simple paywall, this simple activate portal.
Cool, and then I'm gonna get into the market research really quick. If you just see all these graphs, you'll just notice that the vast majority of us use a lot of data on the go, wherever you are, and it just shows that there's an incentivization and legitimization of the need for mobile internet access. And the opportunities we see is that data can be throttled, some are insecure, and there's an inequality in internet accessibility. And our vision is that all of us have an empowerment via internet ownership through Hot Mesh and being able to diversify this internet data usage. Thank you.
Cool. I don't have any questions. I think it's really clear. I personally would much rather pay for Wi-Fi time with Bitcoin than signing up for some BS service. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm curious. The prototype you guys worked on is for Android or iOS or both? Android. Yeah. I was curious how you got through like networking extensions on, through Apple side, like what kind of access issues you had, like creating this Catholic network interface for and the paywall for
Yeah, well, we didn't do that on iOS, but we had to real device, so I'm actually glad that one of our team members volunteered his phone for this. I figured out not to break it. Yeah, and then it was like some basic IP table that we used to redirect like all of the requests.
So for the actual paywall, are you guys using a one-time off transaction? And if you are, how are you guys handling the scenario where he's buying time for me and I decide 20 minutes after to just shut off my hotspot? What do you do in that sense?
So we have a couple of ideas. Well, one, each address is unique, so each session is related to a unique address, but turning to a trust and making sure that nobody is breaking the rules. We're looking to making a multi-sig script so that both parties are held accountable, so if somebody turns off their Wi-Fi, they won't receive the funds.
So you might want to do something as payment channel.
Yeah, ideally that'd be.
I will put in the funds, and then in case something happens, you just return however much amount of time I didn't get paid for. That's great. Good idea though. Great product. We totally like to see it implemented in iOS. That would be awesome.
Really cool project. I was just about to say the same thing. A payment channel would probably be perfect for something like this. I think that a lot of transactions are going to head towards pay for what you use. So I like stuff like that. Really good. Well done.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. So everyone in Bitcoin community is complaining that there is no way to actually go out and spend Bitcoin, that there are no stores or businesses that you can easily find where you could spend your Bitcoin. So we found a solution for you and we built it. It's BitPal. It's a first decentralized market where businesses accept Bitcoin for payment, and people can easily find a list of businesses that accept those payments. You can go in and pay straight through our website for whatever service you need. And let's watch the demo. So our app is live on bitpal.us if you would like to use it now. First, you need to register whether you are a business owner or a user. For business owners, we created Submit a Business section where they will need to write basic necessary information such as name of the business, choose the category, whether it's a restaurant, fill out some description, location, and your business, whether it's a restaurant or a store, a shop, gym, it's going to be live on our app, and customers will be able to see that you are accepting Bitcoin payments. If you're a user, you don't need to fill out this information. You can just log in. And in a second, Mario will explain you how you can go to that restaurant and use the service and pay with Bitcoins.
So you can find a list of or available business. You can click on the one. You can find a location based on your real location, actual location. Contact the business owner if you got questions, and click on the Make Payment button. You select whether you want to pay with Bitcoin or Litecoin. Select the quantity of dollars that you want to pay to the establishment. The calculation is done in a matter of seconds. So next to it, you send the payment, and the business owner receives the confirmation when he gets more than one confirmation. So every business has their own wallet of Bitcoin and Litecoin. And the business owner can go to the My Balance section and actually see the real balance that they have to withdraw from the application. And yeah, for the future version, we're going to add private keys in this section. So if our website went down for any reason, we don't owe the people money. It's totally decentralized. Yeah, here's the index, and you can browse all the based on the categories. Yeah, create as many business as you want. So this is Bitball so far.
I think that, you know, really cool concept. You know, we don't need to ask any regulatory questions because it's decentralized. And how does it differ from OpenBazaar? I don't use OpenBazaar that much, but you know, if you guys know of, how would that differ? Or how would BitPal differ from OpenBazaar, which is another decentralized marketplace, from what I understand? OpenBazaar, have you heard of it? No. Okay, all right, well then, no more further questions.
Thank you. Other questions?
Cool, yeah, just curious, so when the person pays a vendor on this platform, are they like prepaying for services or goods before going to the business? Or would this be like something that, you know, I'm searching for vendors that accept BTC, and now I know what goods they have, so I have to like make this arrangement before I go to the business using this or is this simply a platform so they can build on so a vendor could reach out to people who want to spend their coins?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can browse from the business that are willing to accept cryptocurrencies as a payment method.
So the original idea was that the business owner trades business on the app. Let's say we made a restaurant. And if I go out with my husband, I have a meal, and then let's say it costs $50, I want to pay right away with my Bitcoin. So for that reason, Matter is better in this like backend technology, but for this reason we made it super instant that whenever you pay, the waitress or the business will receive the like invoice through the email, and they can approve it right away, so we're not leaving and like stealing their money. They know that we paid and we can leave right away. So it's just super fast and easy for people to spend this money.
Transactions happen at the location.
And the amount of Bitcoin or Litecoins are based on the Bittrex API last prices.
No further questions. I'm good. Thank you.
I'd like to say that this project kind of plays into a broader theme that I personally believe in, which is democratization of software. That in order for businesses and society at large to kind of keep up with the pace of innovation, software tools should be more available to regular people. So, as you know, you probably all know what ICO is. So today ICO raised about 3.7 billion total, and around 25,000 smart contracts. To launch an ICO, you need to launch a smart contract on mostly on Ethereum network. So as you can see, there is a tremendous demand for the services. And yet, it's extremely hard to find developers. Well, because who wants to work when you can just huddle and go to conferences, etc. So the prices that these guys charge are 500K and above. That's not something I just came up with randomly. That's actual quotes that people quoting us to prepare for our ICO. And so basically, what we build a platform that allows anyone to launch an ICO without developers. And we kind of put an interesting spin on it, is that you can launch a token on top of Bitcoin, not Ethereum. We use Rootstock protocol for that. And yeah, basically, if you look at the market cap of Ethereum and Bitcoin market cap is 2 times larger, so pretty much a lot of liquidity is sitting in this market, but right now they have to access ICOs through Ethereum, they have to trade it in and out, it just creates friction. So potentially solutions like that can enable access for this liquidity to, to get into ICO. So that's, the platform is actually functional, so let me show you. Of course, it's it's just a proof of concept, but basically here I have a list of tokens that I created. You can go and create a token. I'm not going to do it now because it's just going to take about 30 seconds for a transaction to mine. So you can set up different parameters of your pre-sale, sale, etc. And basically it allows then anyone to come and invest, and you can invest directly with Bitcoin. And for example, we can go and try to invest. I have a little bit. Sorry, the numbers are very small because the guys don't want to share too much of the test net coins. So let's try. Hope it's gonna work. In the meantime, while it's mining, I'm gonna show you the potential future possibilities of this platform. You can basically, you can integrate the whole kind of community-driven investment thing like AngelList, but for cryptos. You can kind of launch the coin and have the community investors collaborate and co-invest, as the project goes through different stages. And then you can do, full KYC, AML, legal compliance, basically allow, take care of everything. Because the interesting thing is ICO is just the kind of tip of the iceberg because there will be, it's just a broader thing of tokenization. We're basically, sure, yeah. We're basically, there is a, tremendous benefits of, tokenization of liquid assets. So, as you can see, I just bought a, 0.4 tokens that I just created, and I just, enable all this without any development. So that's pretty much.
Cool. As someone who recently ran an ICO, went to the dark side, sorry about that. This is really interesting. So much innovation in this space. And we've actually had a chance to speak in private as well. What about the other pieces? Because it's much more than just the development to run an ICO. Can you foresee maybe expanding this to other things to help someone go through it?
Yeah, I definitely can foresee a lot of basically unlimited possibilities because right now the tokenization process is very it's just very difficult technically but also legally, and also there is a marketing challenges. You can potentially kind of put it all together on one platform and also the money, the investors, and kind of let them all collaborate in a decentralized fashion to kind of feed the companies they like, form syndicates, whatever. I think that something like this will happen for sure.
Thank you.
Great, yeah. Also coming from a company that just had an ICO, it's a pretty intense process. There's a lot of moving parts to it. This is a very interesting tool that there's an obvious need for it. Yeah, I have a ton of questions for you. We got to chat a little bit on Friday night, and I feel like I kind of picked your brain a little bit about this. I guess just what are some of the engineering bottlenecks you foresee, kind of rolling this out to the market? What are your plans for that?
So, the obvious bottlenecks are security, first of all, because unlike traditional web application where you can always fix bugs, if you have bugs in Solidity smart contracts, you can potentially lose hundreds of millions of dollars. So there is significantly more pressure here, and just in general, I believe the tool set that exists right now is it's not user friendly at all. Even the APIs, Ethereum APIs, Bitcoin APIs, they could be much better. So that's where for this project, that's what I found. We were coding all night, non-stop. We didn't sleep, And most of the time, I literally just had to like debug stuff. It's not I generated a lot of like value add and some, invented some cool stuff. I just had to plug in, all these multiple pieces, spend like, a ton of time.
So going more into KYC and ML, what is your legal compliance like? What are you guys doing? Make sure who's signing up, who's investing, accredited investors, some random from the street. What are you guys doing to stop any of that?
Right now, we don't have any functionality like this because we pretty much just did it in one night. But you can easily imagine plugging in even existing, KYC solution, accredited investors, etc. To partner with someone to basically provide full legal compliance for, depending on the type of token you issue, etc. So, I can easily see that.
Well done. No questions.
Thank you.
So much fun over the last 2 days, I just couldn't believe it. I was able to bring my son and my father together, so we're not only a team, but we're a family, and it's really amazing to see what we can come together and do. There's no way I could have ever done this myself. I usually do just try to do what I can myself. And, if I run into a problem, I have to super, dig to debug. Having these two here really just helped me create this vision. So, what I actually am is I really just do a lot of art. One time I created this piece, I posted a little video on my Facebook, and said, hey, here's something I'm working on. I look later, it has 80,000 views, people are trying to buy it. This person actually said, why don't you have a raffle? You probably can't afford whatever you're gonna charge for this thing, but if I could just put in $1, you probably sell a lot. I actually said, hey, that's an awesome idea. I'd love to do that. I actually started scouring the net, trying to find a way to do a cool raffle. It just really wasn't a way. I ended up putting it on an auction, and the auction software was like $150 a month, and yeah, it worked out for that one time, but then I canceled it. We really wanted to do that. So that's why I kind of got involved in trying to create some way to make a raffle. So Bitcoin blockchain actually creates unique IDs every few minutes. So every time you have a new transaction completed, it creates a transaction hash, which actually is a unique ID. So what we're doing is we're actually using the Bitcoin blockchain, and we're saying, okay, at this time, our raffle ends noon, January 31st. Next blockchain height, we're going to look at the transaction hash, and this is provably fair. So anybody that participates in the raffle can actually jump on, verify the transaction hash, look at the total number of tickets, and run the same calculation that we're doing. They can see, oh, I didn't pick my son as the winner. This is actually verified as provably fair by the blockchain. I also, as an artist, find myself liking cryptocurrencies. So one of the things that I'm doing is I have an Etsy shop. People pay me in fiat. I go online, I buy some Litecoin on Coinbase, I send it to Binance, I start buying Bitcoin so that I can buy altcoins, and then I have to take the altcoins back, and I pay transaction fees the whole way through. It would be really nice if someone was able to just pay me in the altcoins I like. Hey, I got 400% gains. Do I want to cash out in the same way and take out those transaction fees? Or do I want to use it as a currency and actually say, hey, I can actually exchange this for a value item. Maybe I want to hang this piece on my wall, I'll just pay for it. Minimize transaction fees, true peer-to-peer commerce. We were only able to get a certain part of the project done, although to be honest, I'm super happy with how far we got. I was a little worried we'd come through and not really do anything at all, so we really were able to do a lot. Some things that we'd like to do in the future maybe would be add on-auction functionability, add classified ads functionability, so that way you're kind of banking on the familiarity of the everyday, so we can actually create not only for me to go and sell my stuff for cryptocurrency, but maybe anybody. Hey, I want to sell my old socks on Craigslist, but I'd like to get Bitcoin instead. This functionality would allow them to just create their own app, or for ours, we did a marketplace where they can load their stuff, sell it for whatever coin they want. They can turn on and off coins, so if it's too volatile, for example, oh man, I don't like Tron right now, the white paper's plagiarized, so I'm turning that one off. Or, oh wait, I went on their Reddit, I actually like what he's saying, I'm gonna turn it back on. So, okay, let's do a quick demo. So, this here's our raffle. If you want to load up the 3D view, we're using Capacity here, which is actually a software that allows you to create a 3D rotational view, which I cannot do on Etsy right now. We were also able to create sliders as well as a video. So sometimes it may not seem so important to you, but as a merchant, some of my items, just a photo is not going to do. I really need to have a video. So So here, we have our little countdown timer, and anybody can see. You can go ahead and buy a raffle ticket, it's just $1. Then you're going to come in here and you're actually going to choose how you'd like to pay me. So these are currencies that I've selected. We're actually calling it from CoinMarketCap. And then we say, okay, we want 2 of these raffle tickets. And what's going to happen is we're going to see, who's buying my product. So, oh look, hey, Satoshi Nakamoto, he's buying our raffle tickets. Wonder where he lives. That looks awfully familiar, that address. Could he be here at the lab? I don't know. We made these qualifiers, so they have to be filled out. Sorry, guys. Is what it is. We made an email confirmation, so as soon as they've actually put that in, they can go ahead. This generates a wallet address in whatever currency that I've specified, and tells them you have to send exactly 1.885540 XEM to this address below within the next 10 minutes. Once they have that completed, they can put the transaction hash into our thing, click submit, and then that will actually bring them to the confirmation page. It gives them their raffle ticket number, also tells them how many that we've sold to date. This is important because at the end you actually need to know the total number of raffle tickets to pick a winner. And if you want to just go ahead and scroll down, this is actually the blockchain raffle here. So you can define how many tickets. So last ticket number in this case is 1,000. And you have Block Explorer open. So we're going to grab the last 10 digits of this transaction hash and just assume that this is now January 31st at noon. You add that in, click calculate. Now we know exactly what the winning raffle ticket number is. So the whole internet knows, the whole world knows that. Oh, thank you. All right, appreciate it, guys.
Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Well done.
I see something that's currently online. It's like a web service.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is actually online right now. You can go there and bid on my piece. I actually brought the piece here just in case anybody's curious. You can see like
let's check it out.
What brought us here. So, I do this, I do Bitcoin art, all this stuff, and I'm trying to basically create value through art. So I'm taking a piece of acrylic, turning it into money. So, fiat is only so good. I'd like to go more digital.
Awesome.
Very, very interesting concept, especially considering the startup that I'm a part of right now, which does something similar. It's not a raffle, but it's using intellectual property rights and royalty payments in a similar category. There's a crowd where people can invest in income royalties from a piece of intellectual property.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Very similar concept. Good execution.
Thank you.
I wonder whether there are more popular fiat similar sites. Maybe there are, I just haven't heard of them. But this seems like a great idea. I also like the trustless part at the end where you use like the transaction so that no one thinks there's any funny business. Question for you, have you thought about maybe doing something similar in the lottery space? Because maybe a global Bitcoin lottery.
I looked at Bitcoin lotteries and there's actually been a whole bunch of them. So like in that space, it seemed like there was already a lot of activity. I didn't really see any cool raffles, and then also it was just something I could see myself using immediately. So it wasn't something I was building, so I hope somebody would use it in the future. This is like something I need. I'm gonna put it in implementation right away as soon as I get home.
You're totally right. I've seen lotteries too, but I've never seen a raffle. So good for you. Cheers.
This is the thing use blockchain here. It's a whiteboard style blockchain. There's a 3 or 7 blocks here, and you can explain to them the importance of those blocks. One second.
Okay, so I don't have much time here, so let's get all the disclaimers and prerequisites out of the way first. First of all, we are fully KYC AML compliant. We do have a BIT license in New York. We are working on a money serves transfer license in all 50 states. We are going to be partnering with BitFlyer once they open Q3. Coinbase too. GDAO X. The new DAO. We should replace GDAX with a GDAO X. Okay, so, sorry. I'm trying to keep this short, but again, private demos are available in VR on every platform. Every platform. Because our whole platform is based in Rust and Golang, we can compile it to anything native. We're not using Java. We're not forking any Bitcoin code. None. And there were some rumors. That's why not an audio question here. All right. So this is not for sale. You cannot buy this in store. This may not be for you. Feel free to leave at any time, because again, I feel like I've already won this competition hands down. And again, I don't care about the judges. I care about the real judges, all of you, and the internet. The real consensus proof of work algorithm. One computer, one node, one vote, one love. There was also some FUD rumors being spread about a potential 0-day affecting Bitcoin Core version 0.15 and newer and older. It's really, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go the responsible route and submit this to Blockstream directly. I have CC'd and blind carbon copied Adam Beck. I have a copy of the entire employee directory at Blockstream. So if they don't patch this within, I'm going to give them 60 days, I feel is plenty of time. If they can't solve this problem, then maybe, okay, I'm really am pro Bitcoin here. Really, but this is, the problem is, I can't, it's a hard fork. All the information is up here somewhere, but it's also available online. Thank you. I'm available all day. Contact me, dksnorts@protonmail.com. MONERAI.com if you would like to download plans for an airplane. We appreciate your response. All right, guys. Thank you for letting me shout out to all my Canadian friends, Positive Squad, Hamilton, Ontario, Red Mountain. If you like Canada, shout out Canada. Blame Canada for this guy. All right, guys, we're going to deliberate for 20 minutes now, and then we'll come out and announce the winner. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Done all the math, so if I can just get your attention. Again, before I announce the winner, 10 seconds. So again, everybody, go ahead and give you guys a huge pat on the back. You know, thank you for putting it down, making this event a great success. We do this for you guys, we do it for the Bitcoin community, we do it for Miami Tech, for the South Florida community. So let's keep kicking ass down here, let's keep it local, let's keep pushing the envelope and start competing with everyone else. Okay? So I'm going to go from the 6th place forward. Alright, so in 6th place is Blue Beta. So also, as I call you out, just remember where you placed, and then just come see me here in the back corner, and we'll take care of your prizes and all that stuff, okay? In 5th place is Mevia. In 4th place is Going for Gold. In 3rd place is Team TSL with CryptoQuest. And it was very close for first. It's about a couple points off, so pat yourself on the back. If you're second, you did well. You almost hit first. In 2nd place is Team Pump and Dump. And in 1st place, which the judges really like, great job on picking something that, you know, would get to the heart of the judges, is BIT. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you very much. Winners, come see me. Anybody that has questions, wants to talk crypto, wants to talk to BitStop, come see me. And again, thank you guys so much. We're humbled, and we appreciate the participation, the support, and you guys showing up and building awesome stuff. Thank you again.